how do we know when we are in alignment and when we are out of alignment? There are many ways that being in and out of alignment will show for each individual. There's a really cute dog who's happy to see humans over here. It's really distracting. When we are in alignment, our internal and external world feel connected. There can be an essence of seemingly effortless, a lot more synchronicities, emotions like joy, harmony, ease, peace, balance. We are living congruent experiences when we are in alignment. When we are living incongruently, when our vocal, mental world does not match our action, our physical world, energetically we are out of alignment. Living out of alignment creates internal and external incongruencies. To live in congruent ways is to live with integrity, in matching alignment of what you say, think, do, and create. Often when we are living out of alignment, we will say things that really hype us up. Oh, I'm working on this. Oh, I'm doing that. Oh, I'm gonna do that. We verbally hype ourselves up. Often this is subconscious, to then give ourselves mental stimulation, motivation, inspiration to follow through with the action. Often we will tell people we're doing things to give ourselves a sort of bond that now we need to follow through with it because we've talked about it. In terms of law of universe, when we talk about doing something or having done something or we're starting something, we get an initial hit on that. And it's like we've already kind of started it before we've actually ever done any actual motion towards doing it, which in turn bites us in the ass, and often we don't follow through because it's like we think we've already done it. It could be like, oh, I'm starting this business, or oh, I'm writing this book. It's so great. Because you can see yourself writing the book, and now you're talking about writing the book before you've ever written the book. Now you're thinking you're going to do it because you've made this verbal agreement to the universe, and then you never actually write the book. And now you fall into an insecure cycle with yourself. Said person comes back and they're like, hey, how's that book going? And you're like, And if you perpetuate and you're like, oh, it's going great, now you're lying, and now you're even more out of alignment with yourself. You're living in more incongruency, and it perpetuates. Now you don't trust yourself. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. Now there's all these problems. Whereas in the sense of, traditionally some people will say move silently. If you're writing a book and you're creating something in private and not talking about it, the action of congruency in knowing you're doing it, you're creating it, and then by the time you go to publish it, it's already done. You trust yourself. You know you follow through. You know you're doing it for yourself and not for public validation, because you don't even need to talk about it. There is power in your integrity when you move silently. There's a difference to move silently for integral preservation of what you're doing versus withholding in secrecy. Only you are going to know the difference of that. Moving in ways of secrecy is to keep it from other people. And that energy is different than keeping information from public knowledge for self-preservation. It's like, another example is women with pregnancy. Some women will not disclose their pregnancy until a certain point in their terms, because it allows them the privacy, energetic privacy also, to cultivate that life before they're bombarded with everybody's thoughts, opinions, energies, frequencies, all that. Same goes for when we're creating something, a business, an idea, a plan, a desire. When we keep that to ourselves and allow it room to germinate, that seed can actually take root and sprout in peace and grow in integral foundation so that it can grow fully. When we're talking about what we're planting, hey, I got these seeds. Hey, I'm going to plant these seeds. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Hey, I'm doing this with my life. By the time you plant the seeds, so much of that energy has leached out that there's not as much energy to grow the seed. And maybe the seeds don't take off. And now it's like, what the heck? What's happened? They're duds. No, they're not duds. You just zapped all the energy from them, either by over talking about it, talking before they were even planted, or then allowing exposure from the world for everyone to put their energy onto it, to doubt you, to doubt the journey, to doubt what you're germinating, to zap it like a microwave. So it's on us to protect what it is that we're germinating. It's on us to give sincere privacy for germination and protection from zapping that energy. It's on us to live in alignment in our internal world with what we know we're doing, what we know we're saying, so that it cultivates and grows into full fruit. It's on us to live and move in an integrity, in a way of integrity and congruency, so that we trust ourselves, and we know we're worth a shit, so that we don't overspeak and overboast and overclaim for subconscious or conscious reasons of egoic validation. Vocals are tricky because they're a binding contract. Words are spells. The word choice you use is important. And our ego comes out in vocals, where if we're not familiar with how our voice moves or how we use our voice, we often don't hear and feel what part of us is actually speaking. If you're with friends and you're kind of like shorthand shit talking, you're like, and you're like cursing all over the place, you're like, yeah, fuck that, and like, man, kind of shooting the shit, that is all egoic language. That's very different language than when you're talking with your grandmother side by side, or when somebody's on their deathbed and you're talking with them, or you're having an intimate moment with your partner eye to eye, or you're talking with yourself in your journal. Our language, our inflections, the energy and tone at which we speak varies every single day, all day, different times, different reasons. When we're scared, when we're happy, when we're joyful, when we're nervous, when we're mad, when we're suspicious. Our voice is going to be different when we're teaching versus when we're learning, when we're speaking in front of people, when we're announcing ourselves, when we're defending ourselves. Our vocals change all the time. So just as important, our internal language is imperative to learn how to refine and adjust that and act in accordance to how we're speaking to ourselves, so that we trust ourselves. When we don't trust ourselves, anything we do is suspect. When we don't trust ourselves, how can anyone else trust us? If we don't believe that we're going to follow through on what we're doing, how the can we believe that anyone else will trust what we're going to do when we tell them? Our bodies will tell people we're lying, and our inflection will tell people we're lying, and our eyes will tell people we're lying before our verbal words will ever tell people we're lying. Yeah, you could say somebody could fumble and catch up on some words and you know it. And it's like, yes, it's the delivery of the words. The words aren't what's telling. It's how the words are strung together. It's the pause and the catch in the breath when somebody's speaking. It's how somebody's body is moving when they're talking to us. Because when somebody is out of alignment, their whole auric energy field shows that. We are animals. We are spiritual beings in animal bodies. Our intuitions know this, whether we feel refined in our intuition or not. So this goes solely for ourselves as well as every single person we encounter. It is imperative and essential that we live in alignment, that we live in integrity for ourselves so that we can in turn live in alignment in ways of integrity for everybody else we encounter. If we're talking about making money, it's imperative to live in alignment in integrous ways so that money can come to you. It's not to say you can't be a criminal and be deceiving and manipulative and mischievous and still make money. You can. It's a different result you're going to get, though. It's a different level of karma you're going to get in return. It's a different reality you're going to experience on the outside. I can bet that anyone living out of alignment in malicious ways, manipulating for criminal reasons to gain money, is not living in peace, is not living in harmony, will have medical problems, will have psychological problems, will have affected relationships. Whereas if they were to do the complete and total opposite and live in alignment, with integrity, be congruent, and show up in accordance for themselves so they can in turn show up in those ways for other people, that they would live lives of peace, harmony, tranquility, alignment, abundance, and thrive in a sustainable way, unendingly. Our body tells us when we're living out of alignment. Whether you're having anxiety, if your sleep cycle's messed up, if you're having IBS, if you're getting rashes, autoimmune diseases are key signs that we are not living in alignment somehow, some way. Stress, hair loss, loss of appetite, hormonal imbalance, acid reflux. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. For women, you can have vaginal imbalances. You can have so many things. It's absolutely insane. Men, you can have dramatic symptoms like ED. For both genders, your libido can go down. You can even have things as dramatic as blindness. The point is, listen to your body. Zoom way out and consider, how is this all tying together? Sometimes, if you leave work, you're like, I'm calling out for the day, and I leave, and you immediately feel relief, or you're having a symptom that immediately is relieved upon leaving a relationship or making a decision about something, that's confirmation that you were then living out of alignment, and in making the choice and leaving or refocusing or adjusting, that relief is confirmation that you made a good decision. When people chalk things up to coincidence or, oh, that's a weird thing that maybe just happened, they're wanting to negate their own biological and soul's knowledge that there's more going on here than what they'd like to admit to. It's easy to say, that's just a coincidence, because that negates our responsibility to what's going on. If we quit a job and a physical ailment we've been having stops, that's fantastic. We took accountability and we made a choice, and in turn our body is saying, thank you, I can relax now. When we stay in a job, or we stay in a relationship, or we stay in a location that we're living in, and our body is ill and things are going wrong, and we say, I just don't know what it is. It's just a thing that's happening. We're actively refusing to acknowledge our bodies and our subtle body's intelligence telling us this isn't right for us. There's something better elsewhere. We're meant to be doing something elsewhere. Please go elsewhere so we can continue fulfilling our lives in alignment. And for a barrage of reasons, insecurities, ego, fear, we will often choose to ignore these signs and symptoms, go to Western medicine for topical treatments, receive no benefit, be convinced that it's an unknown ailment and it's a mystery, and fall victim to a vicious victim pain cycle of, now I have a disease that's uncurable, when actually, if we fucking listened to our bodies and did the soul work and took accountability about the fact that we're living out of fucking alignment, our symptoms would actually heal themselves and subside. But that would require actual accountability, and that would require living in integrity and congruency to make the decision to change the thing that we're fearful or scared or mad or insecure or worried about changing, for all the other reasons that go down the spiderweb rabbit hole of connection. Yes, it's challenging to make a decision that will change our life in an unknown way. And at the same time, by not doing that, we are making a decision to not change something about our life that is changing our life in an unknown way towards the negative. So pick one. You want one that'll go for the positive or one that'll go for the negative, because either way you're choosing, and either way it's going to go there. And either way there's fear and there's unknown and there's mystery. Yet one imperative difference is one of those choices is made in alignment, in congruent action, to trust yourself, listening to your body, your subtle body, your universe, your energetic field, the quantum physics of this realm, and you're making the decision to go that way because you know that's the way to go, even if you can't explain it. Versus staying here because you know that this one's gonna be the best one, and your skin is itching off your body, or your hair is falling out, or you're diarrheaing yourself, or you're unable to sleep, or you're having ED with your partner, or you're dry with your partner, or you're like, wow, this works out great, but like I really fucking hate how it smells here. Make the other decision. I'm telling you, make the other fucking decision. It'll always be worth it. You're worth it. Live in alignment. Live with integrity. Live in congruency. And watch your life blast off in levels of thriving you may have never even known possible. But you're absolutely worth it.